Welcome to Kidmissing TV. Today we're going to talk about the case of Juliet Poyntz. She was a female communist in the United States. There is a manuscript by Elias Lieberman called The Mysterious Disappearance of Juliet, or A Lady Communist Vanishes. He first met her when they were both working for the ILGWU Local 25. She was the educational director, and he was the chairman of the educational committee, which provided the approval for her educational plans and programs. And he represented her in surrogate's court. Can somebody help me out and tell me what that is? She was born November 25th, 1886 in Omaha, Nebraska. Her father was a CPA and her mother was a school teacher. When she was 9, she moved to the East Coast and attended school in New Jersey. Because her parents split up and her mother moved to the East Coast. Now, her name was originally spelled Poyntz, P-O-I-N-T-S. When she was in college, she decided to change it to P-O-Y-N-T-Z. She graduated from Barnard College in 1907. She received her master's degree from Columbia. She received the English Fellowship by the American Federation of Women's Clubs and studied at Oxford University and the London School of Economics. In London, Poyntz met Dr. Frederick Franz, Ludwig Glaser, and they were married. Dr. Frederick Franz, Ludwig Glaser. Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was all one person. And they were married in New York on October 8th, 1913. They separated within 5 years. They were just too different. Interesting. So at that time, if you married somebody from another country, you lost your U.S. citizenship. So she had to be renaturalized in 1924. When she returned from England, she joined the Socialist Party and immersed herself within socialist organizations while working in the research department of the Rand School of Social Science. She became friends with a Morris Hillquit, a lawyer for the International Ladies and Garment Workers Union, because he asked her to do research on cost of living for garment workers in New York City. And that's how she became the first educational director of the Dressmakers Union. In a 1916 report of the Ladies' Waist and Dressmakers Union, Poyntz is identified as the director of the newly created Organization and Educational Department. And beginning June 1916, she was the editor for The Message, the official magazine of the union. In her role as educational director, she developed a program of adult labor education. She did lectures and all sorts of things. She made lengthy trips to Europe. She continued her involvement in the Socialist Party, and during the split within the party appeared to officially belong to the centrists. There is little direct evidence that she participated in the formation of the Communist Party in the United States, but she did play a role in the Workers' Council in 1921 and its inclusion in the Convention of the Workers' Party of America. By 1924, Poyntz was actively participating with the leadership of the Communist Party USA, and her activity and standing continued to increase, so that in 1928 she attended the Sixth World Congress of the Communist International and became the head of the Women's Department of the CPUSA, Communist Party USA. Her work continued with the Communist Party, and she eventually became employed by the Soviet Secret Police, otherwise known as the KGB. In 1936, she secured a new passport with the name Juliet Stewart Glazer, that was her married name, and in October traveled to Europe. During this time, Poyntz had been in contact with Elias Lieberman, whom she had met while working at the Union. Her estranged husband had passed away. She set out to secure a portion of his estate, and when she returned to the U.S. in February of 1937, her case and application for widow's allowance had been secured by Lieberman. Meeting in early May 1937, Poyntz impressed upon Lieberman the urgent need for the money from the settlement, mentioning she was eager to get away as soon as possible. Their lengthy trips to Europe, many surmised she was still in the Soviet intelligence, and Lieberman later recounted her increased anxiety and fear in the spring of 1937. So they don't believe her disappearance was voluntary. Well, what date was her disappearance? Let's see. Disappeared in 1937. She was also an American suffragette. They say suffragist, but it's suffragette, which advocated for the right to vote for women. She was a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution. She, unfortunately, there isn't a lot about her disappearance, just about her life in general. But the New York Police Department is still investigating her case because their phone number is 212-473-2042. Yeah. December 1937. Actually, she disappeared after receiving a phone call on June 5th, 1937. Never to be seen again. Surrogate's court was the estate. It's what we call today probate court. She disappeared in June but didn't become official until December. And after mail piled up and 3 or 4 months of no paid rent, a friend of hers was notified, who notified Lieberman, her friend and lawyer, that she was missing and that she was being kicked out of her apartment. I wonder if they went and got her stuff. Yeah, that's quite an interesting case. I don't know. I wish they talked more about the disappearance and less about her life, but I'm sure her life had something to do with her disappearance. You can't be a communist spy in the United States and disappear and not have the two be related. So, that's my opinion. Let me know what you think. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Please subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers by Memorial Day. Bye, guys. God bless.